Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Classic Comics. So, we're getting a Superman reboot, it looks like. This article was just posted in Deadline maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago. This article is by Anthony D'Alessandro. Superman reboot in the works at Warner Brothers with Ta-Nehisi Coates writing, J.J. Abrams producing. Deadline has confirmed that author Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing a Superman reboot feature for Warner Brothers and DC, which J.J. Abrams is producing under his Bad Robot label. Hannah Minghella will serve as producer, no plot yet and no attachments, despite the fact that we've heard how Henry Cavill is eager to get back into the cape. Coates is attached to a Ryan Coogler-directed drama feature entitled Wrong Answer, about a math teacher in Atlanta who is scandalized when he looks to get funding for his school by altering his students' test scores. Michael Jordan is attached to Wrong Answer. As the national correspondent for The Atlantic, Coates covered cultural, social, and political issues, specifically that of African Americans and white supremacy. He has written for The Village Voice, Time, and has contributed to the New York Times Magazine, Washington Post, and more. His nonfiction books include The Beautiful Struggle, Between the World and Me, and We Were 8 Years in Power, An American Tragedy. Between the World and Me won the 2015 National Book Award for Nonfiction. Of note, Coates has written a Black Panther and a Captain America series for Marvel Comics. Coates received a special credit on Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, and Black Panther. I didn't know that. Abrams has a big $500 million deal over at Warner Media, which he closed in September of 2019. As we first told you in January 2020, Bad Robot and Warner are developing the Justice League Dark universe for film and TV. Justice League Dark first appeared in the September 2011 issue of Justice League Dark #1, featuring such superheroes, mostly occult and offbeat, as John Constantine, Mystic and Fortune Teller Madame Xanadu, Deadman, Shade the Changing Man, and Zatanna. The roster is larger and members joined later on, with Swamp Thing being added in issue 19. Given their powers, they typically handle situations outside of the scope of the traditional Justice League, which includes Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Flash. Shadow and Act had the news about Coates. I don't know what that means. Okay, so a while back, of course, J.J. Abrams landed this big $500 million deal at Warner Brothers, and the word was that he was largely being brought in to handle their DC stuff, because again, this is back in 2019, and it was just their DCU stuff was just a mess. So this isn't Abrams' first run at Superman, his first try at the character. Back around 2005 or so, he did a screenplay called Superman Flyby, I think it was called. And, I mean, it was a mess. In this version that he wrote, Superman, first of all, Krypton doesn't explode. Kal-El comes to Earth, but Krypton still exists out in space. And he's like the heir to the throne. He's basically like the son of the ruler of Krypton. And, of course, he settles in on Earth. And, that part of it's kind of the same, but eventually, as the story goes along, you find out that Luthor is a Kryptonian. Luthor is Kryptonian, and he's from Krypton too, and he's here to hunt down Kal-El and kill him. And I mean, it's just a mess. So, and of course, J.J. Abrams is the Grim Reaper of franchises. I mean, he's ruined Star Trek, and he and his bad reboot crowd, and they've of course did the Star Wars sequels, did Force Awakens, which basically set up the new Disney trilogy, which is a mess. So now apparently he's going to get a shot to wreck Superman and the DCEU characters as well. But if that wasn't bad enough, on top of that, they've hired Ta-Nehisi Coates to write this movie. So if you don't know who Ta-Nehisi Coates is, well, I mean, it says it in the article here, but he was a writer for The Atlantic, and of course he specializes in covering, basically racism stories. And he was a writer at Marvel while he wrote Captain America, and he was the first guy to handle Captain America, I think, after uh, the whole storyline of what Secret Empire, I think it was called, the one where Captain America turns out to be a Hydra agent, where basically it turns out the Cap is a Nazi, and he was the first writer to take on the Captain America book after that. And I mean, to be fair, he didn't continue Cap being a Nazi, but his first few issues for Cap were actually not bad. But then it turns into the story. It was another post-apocalyptic story where, like 20, 30 years in the future, their society is a wreck and there's been a war. And it turns out that it was all because of this bad guy who is basically Trump. He's basically a Trump stand-in. After writing Cap, he then wrote a Black Panther comic, which I think he may still be writing, where Black Panther goes out into space and founds this big space empire or something like that. I mean, it's just the guy. He specializes in race baiting, and I don't even know what to say. I wondered if they would actually go ahead and do this, if they would commit to this and actually do Black Superman. Not only are they doing that, but getting Ta-Nehisi Coates to write it. So it's not just Black Superman, it's we're doing Black Superman, and white people, this movie is not for you. You are not invited, so don't bother. Now, of course, you know how these things work with the SJW crowd. They've gotten a black writer for this Superman movie. So obviously, going by the rules or the SJW laws, since they've got a black writer, they're going to have a black Superman. So Cavill's done. Cavill's done as Superman. He's not going to play Superman. He might, I don't know. He might get a cameo, in that Shazam movie or whatever. But that's pretty much it. Otherwise, they're done and they're moving on from Cavill. So now we have to speculate on who the new Black Superman is going to be. So they had announced a while back, or a rumor had gone around, I think like a couple of years ago, that they were looking at getting Michael Jordan to play Black Superman. So that's probably who I'm guessing they want to get. It even mentions his name in this article. Michael Jordan is attached to this other movie that Ryan Coogler and Ta-Nehisi Coates are working on. Wrong Answer, it's called. So I'm guessing that's the guy they want for Black Superman. They want Michael Jordan. I guess he'll do it. I don't know. So I guess it'll be interesting to see which direction they take the DCEU from here, because, making Superman black alters a lot of things, not just Superman's skin color. I mean, it really changes it's going to change this DCU in a number of ways. So I guess you can be ready for more race swapping, gender swapping of characters in DC going forward. Of course, we had recently the announcement that Supergirl was going to be appearing in, I guess, the Flash movie, and that Supergirl is going to be played by a Hispanic actress. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess, for too long, they'll just eliminate all the white characters in DC, maybe except Batman. They may keep Batman white, but pretty much in every other character, DC is going to become a non-white character. Now, with Superman being black, of course, this implies that, I guess, most of the people on Krypton are going to be black too. So I guess we're going to have a black, we're going to have black Krypton blowing up at the beginning. And of course, that's probably not something SJWs are going to like. So they're probably going to change the story so that instead of black Krypton just exploding from a natural disaster, it'll be caused by probably a planet of white people, a planet of white supremacists who will deliberately blow up Krypton or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, it's, they've been dancing around this for a while, and so they have finally committed to it. They're going to do Black Superman, and I don't really know what else to say. Except, now, will I see this movie? Yeah, I probably will wind up seeing this movie, but I will also wind up not paying for this movie. I will buy tickets to some other movie and then go see Black Superman. That's what I did with Wonder Woman 1984. I bought tickets to what is it, that movie with Monster Hunter or whatever that's out now. Uh, so let me know in the comments what you think about this one. You planning to see Black Superman, or will you be giving it a pass? Just let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.